Happy Monday. Welcome to podcast number 21, and it's June 19th. Welcome to the Earth Momma Living podcast, and I'm the Earth Momma. I'm Jackie O, if you didn't know me, and I am here to be with you this evening to share with you, actually I have a couple drawings that I'm going to also share with you that I did over the last couple days that are helpful to me and just part of my process. So let's get started. I help connect you to your body so that you are able to move through blocks that have held you back from achieving optimal health and life pursuits using energetic healing, movement, sound, tarot, nutrition, journaling, and art therapies. Please tell your friends, share, and heart this episode, and we can grow together. Find me on earthmommaliving.com, Facebook, Instagram, which is Earth Momma Official, YouTube, Clapper, TikTok, Alignable, and Rumble. And today I'm going to do my usual sound and breath work, just a really quick healing session for you and myself, and chat with you about why I do my artwork. I did a quick video recently about that and uploaded it to all the channels pretty much. And I would love to just recap that again, because really that's where I'm going right now with the core of what I do. And so I also can show you a continuation of the progress of my drawing that I began last week with the images that I picked for my next drawing that are influenced by the codes, language, and imagery from the Chichen Itza trip that I did back in April. And so also, before I begin, I'm going to offer you my insight around learning online or anywhere else for that matter. My best words of advice about gathering information from anywhere is this: please read and listen to information you find here. And with discernment. And what I mean is, look things up on your own to confirm what you need to know and understand. Feel free to ask me questions anytime. Not everyone has the whole truth, no one. But when I look through and see multiple sources that contain similar or exact information and it really resonates with me, then I sit with that until further or different knowledge is gathered, or if I see something else. Does that make sense? All right, awesome. Here is my core belief and my mission statement in my core, what I do. In all that I do, I believe in challenging the status quo. I believe in trusting our bodies to heal themselves. The way I challenge the status quo is by teaching clean living by what we eat, what and who we allow around us, and all that supports our bodies to heal themselves. Feel free to ask questions here, again, in the video, in the podcast comment section, in the comment section on the other social media platforms. So let's begin. For those of you who are listening on the replay, I welcome you to my healing space. Let's get into the sacred heart and soul space by doing a couple things: sound, healing, and a couple readings for you. First, let's do the breath work. This will probably help me as well. So let's close our eyes, and we're going to do 4 deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And we'll count 4 seconds up at the top and down. Here we go. Let's start. Ready? Go. Let's do it again. and again. Hold for 4 seconds. I hope that helped you get a little bit more grounded on this Monday evening or Tuesday day, depending on where you are in the world. Let's do some sound with my tuning forks first. I highly recommend that you use headset or earbuds to listen to these. You can always go and re-listen on the recording. You can also do the breath work with this as well. It's very, very soothing. Helps to remind your body to get back to where it needs to be. And here comes my cat Snow, who loves the energy work as well. All right, and then a little bit of the Tibetan bell that I have. My mother brought this back from Tibet back in the 90s. All right. And so now, keep going. Welcome to my channel. So I'd like to share with you a couple drawings that I did this week before I talk about why I do my artwork. And one of the reasons that I'm showing you one of them that I did today is to show you my thought process and result of an exercise and a very important masterclass that I'm doing this coming weekend. If you watch me on my channels, then you've definitely heard about it. I will be putting the link for the class to enroll afterwards. And I would be so happy for you to attend, because it's why I'm doing it. It's for you, to help you and your life, to help express yourself and learn your emotions as you're experiencing them, even if you don't know what your emotions are. So today, I was wanting to make a decision. I wanted to feel out how I was actually feeling about a decision that I was making recently. And so I started at the bottom of the page, and I'll show you here, and I'll tell you about my process. So my process is this. So in order to get guidance from my inner self, I wanted to just simply make, and as you can see, it's just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and a pencil. You don't need to be all fancy or anything with, you can use whatever you'd like. So, and here, so my cup, and actually I drew that at the end. I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning as far as the circle goes, but when I started, and here, I'm going to turn this off, but when I started this drawing, when I started doing the drawing, I started down here, and I just wanted to show myself through the thought process of moving lines around and having a place for them to go, and have like an established place for them to live in the drawing. And so then I had the circle because I felt like this was my mind. I also wanted to get my mind out of the loop, and I just wanted to sense within myself and express it without words that I was asking my higher self some direction. And so I continued up the drawing, and then I wanted to receive. So I just simply drew arrows. And all of this helps me personally. And I have many journals full of drawings that may or may not, actually turn into official final pieces. This is probably not going to end up being a final piece. It might be later if I decide. And so this up here is all the energies above my mind and my head, and a little bit of light language, not a whole lot. I just mainly wanted to have the movement of lines to help my brain. And it actually, what it did for me was it gave me the feeling that I didn't actually have to think about the decision, that it was going to just be known to myself, and I would make the right choice no matter what it was that I decided. And so the drawing that I did, because I haven't been doing as much doodles during the daytime when I'm answering phones or talking to people during the day. But this particular call, I was talking to a gentleman about something that he was asking us about. And I wanted to tap into the energies that he had. And this is actually what I came up with. And it's just simply, I wanted to move the lines are on the page. I wanted to have some expression. And again, artwork doesn't necessarily have to be literal. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece either. This may or may not also turn into a final piece. But for the moment, it helped me while I was on the call to have patience with this person. It wasn't like a stressful call or anything, but it helps me. And this is the type of work that I do with myself when I just simply need to take my brain and the mind out of the equation for the moment so that I can just be present for whatever it is that I need to be present for. And this is why I also encourage everyone to carry around a little notebook in their bag, because to give yourself the opportunity to do that drawing at any given time. You could be sitting and waiting for someone to come out of their home where you're picking them up and it's taking a long time, or whatever it happens to be. It's something that could help you in any situation. So I will talk about why I do my artwork. And I've just talked about exactly the personal reasons why I do my artwork. The number one reason, ever since I was little, is that I'm compelled to, and then I'm urged strongly by my inner self. And there are times actually when I noticed recently that if I'm not listening to my inner self in expressing myself with artwork, drawing, whatever it happens to be, then I actually can get agitated and start walking around my home and feel like I'm pacing. And I will do that if I'm not paying attention, or if I'm, fidgeting with things and I'm just not recognizing that energy needs to come out in a really great, healthy way. And for me, that would be my artwork. Also one other possibility is, running around your house, cleaning like crazy, like a mad woman. That's also kind of like a form of Zen and a type of meditative activity, as long as you know that that's what you're doing. I think that's fantastic. And so Alan Watts talked about washing one dish at a time and just washing and really focusing on that one dish. Great. He has some really great messages. So yeah, the second reason I have for doing my artwork is that I love to be able to express whatever's going on inside without having the words to say. If I don't know what words that I need to say to help myself to understand myself, my drawing actually is an excellent way to just get it out. And you don't even have to figure out what it is, and that you still don't even have to have the words for it. But the good thing is that later you will feel it, you will know. And other people who are looking at your artwork or drawings, and by the way, you can of course use words if that's your way of expressing yourself best. You can do automatic writing, it's called, where you're just writing and you're writing whatever words that come to you, even if it doesn't make any sense. It's great. It's fantastic exercise. I've been doing that as well lately to help with journaling, with questions I might have or feelings I have about certain relationships. And I don't really want to, self-therapize and try to figure it out, but just writing and getting it out literally from my mind all the way through the. So, and then, okay, so the third thing is connecting to my mom and my ancestors through my artwork. My mom was an artist, as some of you know. She was a photographer, she was a painter, she drew as well, and I really admired her and her work. I do have quite a few of her pieces and her photography, and I have some even hanging on my walls. It's great. So I do feel her energies with me when I do my artwork. I feel her cheering me on. This is wonderful. And the last reason, the biggest as well, they're all important, but I feel that I convey messages that I'm feeling that the world needs to hear or see to help them on their journey. So whatever it happens to be. I know that a lot of you have expressed to me that you have a connection to whatever it was that I posted or showed. And that's awesome. And that's wonderful. To me, that means that I'm reaching somebody who might need to see or hear or whatever it is I'm doing, that I'm reaching someone that needs it. And also, whether or not they know exactly what it is, it doesn't matter. It's really not crucial. So, all right. I just wanted to I'll show you, and I'm going to move the camera. And so close your eyes so you won't see the camera being moved all around. But this is how it is right now, folks. So I have the drawing that I did last week in this smaller format. This is the 9x12. And I'm probably only just going to barely start this today. So just so you had an idea. So yes, this was the snake pattern that is recurring all over Mayan architecture. It was fascinating. I had the photographs that I showed last week's in last week's podcast that shows where I got my inspiration, and I like to emulate the forms and the shape as best that I can that was in the original, and then offer my additional form and code around it to support that. So I will do this now. And in the final podcast, I will probably do speed drawing around it so that those of you who don't have a lot of time will get to see this in a lot quicker fashion. All right, so we'll just do the top. Okay, two. So the second one. And it'll get to the point where you might not be able to see what's happening here, but all right. I can show you, probably a little harder to see, but here is the bottom of the snake pattern, and it's going to go all the way up to the top. 4 pieces of the snake. And I actually would love to know more if the Mayans, if they considered these one big connected snake pattern, like one actual snake, or if they were multiple snakes in the artwork that they put together. And I would love to understand more how they devise their system of communication. And I think that the holes, that these circle areas are significant. It seems like they do that quite a bit in the architectural pieces that I saw. And certainly in graphic design work, the negative space, as they call it, is very significant. All right, I think that's good it is a good start to the translation of my smaller sketch into the larger one. And I might finish more. I probably get the lines started so that next week when I do my live, that you guys can see the. Oh, wait, close your eyes again. So that you guys can see the closer to actual drawing piece. All of these steps are really important to my process. And this part is really good because I get the proportion correct for the piece that I would like to do. And I can estimate where on the paper all of it's going to be. In fact, I could even move all of it to the right to get it more centered or whatever, but it's not crucial. Right now, and it's just like anything else. It's getting the idea on the paper and figuring out what it is as a shifting draft of artwork that I need to do and what I envisioned. So, all right. Well, I just want to thank you so much for being here today, and I encourage you to go look within and know that you can do, and absolutely without a doubt heal yourself in every moment of every day. And with this, you can overcome anything. Namaste, my friends. Take care.